Order! Mr. Jacob, order, the Honourable Order! Order!
Keir Starmer has been on the news round and he has said that he will abolish the House of Lords in his first term as Prime Minister.
And replacing the unelected House of Lords with a new, smaller, democratically elected second chamber.
This is based on a report they asked to be published by the previous Prime Minister, Gordon Brown. Basically, Keir Starmer has no fucking ideas, and he's like, oh, Mr. Brown, can you help me? Fucking idiot. Anyway, he says, yes, we're going to abolish the House of Lords in our first term. I actually agree. I think this is the correct way to go. We should never have an unelected chamber that scrutinises our legislation and can even serve in ministerial roles. Basically, like Nicky Morgan and Joe Johnson, when they don't want to be an MP anymore, they get elevated to the House of Lords and they are still able to serve in ministerial roles, despite sometimes them losing their seat. There has been recent controversy around the Baroness Michelle Mone. She is a woman who got made a peer for life by David Cameron in 2015. She is the owner of a lingerie bra company, basically. She got her tits out and got a peerage, because that's how it works. Cronyism, nepotism, it is rife in Westminster. Basically, jobs for the boys, or the ladies in this case. She left school with no qualifications. She has ventured into cryptocurrency, tanning and lingerie and gets made a peer for life. Basically, the controversy around her is she recommended quite aggressively in Matt Hancock's recollection that her company called MedPro should be given millions, hundreds of millions of pounds worth of COVID contracts. This is PPE that was deemed unusable, so she made millions of unusable PPE, and it's now costing £700,000 a day to store. Taxpayers' money to store. She has basically left the Lords with immediate effect. She's been investigated by the Standards Committee, and she will no longer be voting in it for the foreseeable future, and she will no longer be able to collect her allowance. The same allowance where people just turned up in a taxi, signed the book, got their money, and went back home. That allowance. The House of Lords should be eradicated. We should have an elected upper chamber. Baroness Mone claimed that she was not connected to MedPro, who have now been investigated for fraud, in any which way, shape or form. Turns out she was. The 25 million gowns that MedPro provided in a £122 million contract were rejected after a technical inspection. Basically, they are the Conservative cronies getting rich as fuck from other people's misery and our shared misery throughout the COVID pandemic. And I thought I'd also take this opportunity just to show you how corrupt the House of Lords are. Boris Johnson in 3 years made 80 nominations to the House of Lords. 80! Yeah? If you're his mate, boom! You're a Lord for life. Peter Cruddas, a Conservative billionaire donor, was appointed, even though he was involved in a cash for access scandal in 2012. But they went ahead and appointed him anyway. The owner of the Evening Standard, Evgeny Lebedev, was also appointed by Boris Johnson and is actually a close friend of Boris Johnson, regularly inviting him to parties. His father, Alexander, was apparently a former KGB agent. It's unbelievable. Lord Zach Goldsmith was given a peerage and he lost his seat to the Lib Dems in 2019. They gave him a peerage, and then through having a peerage, he was able to get a ministerial role. And last but not least, perhaps the most controversial, is Boris Johnson's brother, Joe Johnson. Joe Johnson resigned as a minister in 2019 when he could not basically conciliate the differences between Brexit and his family loyalty. Basically, he's a Remainer and Boris is a Brexiteer. Bullshit. And Boris Johnson made him a peer. His own brother, a lord. That tells you everything you need to know with the broken House of Lords system. It needs to be reformed. It needs to basically get rid of them all. Get rid of them all. And make an elected upper second chamber. Do I think Keir Starmer has to get into power first? Which, not going to be that hard, because look at his competition. I think he can win the next general election, and I do hope that he does abolish the House of Lords, because I think that'd be a great step forward.
Order! Order! Mr. Jacob, order! Order, the Honourable Order!